Good morning, West Michigan, and welcome to 13 on Your Side Mornings. I'm Veronica Ortega. We've got team coverage on the weather this morning. 13 on Your Side's Julie Koharig has a look at conditions in Kent County, and Trevier Gonzalez is in Muskegon looking at the snow impacts there and some active power outages. We'll get to them in just a moment, but first, meteorologist Blake Hansen breaks down what we're seeing across all of West Michigan. Blake, how much snow can we expect today?
Yeah, I still think we're going to see a few more inches at least today, and then Veronica, tonight into early tomorrow morning, that's when lake effect snow will really take over in some locations here at home. And I think the lake effect will be rather significant as Arctic air drags into West Michigan. We still have a winter storm warning all across the board. This goes until 7 this evening, but I have a strong feeling the National Weather Service is going to extend that warning in a few counties, especially those that are impacted by the lake effect. So far, system snow across West Michigan, a lot of 5 to 8 inch reports. Now, there were some, especially closer to Muskegon County, a little less than that. So some of you this morning might be waking up and saying, was that it? Not too bad. And that might be the case as you wake up this morning. But as mentioned, the lake effect snow is really going to take over for our lakeshore counties and even extending a bit inland as well. We'll get to that later this hour, but first things first, you can see the look at Centennial Park in Holland, a snowy view. Snow is falling, visibility now less than a mile. Same thing at Muskegon, 27 degrees is the number, and numbers are going to really fall off by the end of the weekend. Snow is filling back in. We had a brief lull for a few hours overnight, and that allowed road crews to tackle some of those primary roads and highways, which is great news if you have to head out this morning. Still, really take your time if you are heading out those secondary streets. A lot of wet, slushy snow, but the snow, you can see those darker shades of blue right through Allendale, Grand Rapids, just outside of Dorr here in Allegan County, and then even into Barry County, some heavier pockets of snow. Visibility as a result taking a hit once again on the order of about a mile or two in many spots. And the numbers, while we sit in the upper 20s and near 30, doesn't feel too bad right now. That's going to be short-lived because that colder air mass is on our doorstep. Lake effect snow will be here and there throughout the daylight hours, but our focus is going to turn to tonight because that's when the lake effect will ramp up significantly. Temperatures, there is no climb today. They will be settling mostly in the lower 20s by the end of today, and wind chill values with the wind picking up as well will be more in the single digits to teens at best. We'll break down the lake effect snow, who could see easily double-digit snowfall on top of what has already fallen by the end of the weekend in your full forecast 10 minutes from now.
And crews are already clearing the roads for early commuters this morning. Joining us live is Ken Hildebrand from the Ottawa County Road Commission to talk about how they're responding to this weekend's near blizzard-like conditions. Ken, thank you for joining us this morning.
Yeah, good morning.
How are the roads looking in Ottawa County right now?
So they're not looking too bad. I wouldn't recommend going out. They're pretty slick. It's that heavy, greasy snow. Plus side is we're not experiencing some of the visibility issues with the light fluffy stuff, but I think that's going to change this afternoon when the winds pick up and the temperatures drop.
Right. So what is the plan for the rest of the day?
Well, we got to kind of play it by the weather system. Our goal is to get through the entire system today. We want to get that snow off the road. It's heavy and wet, and as the temperatures drop, it's going to freeze. So we would like to get through the entire system, and that includes our subdivisions, but we don't know if we're going to be able to do that. We just kind of got to see what the lake effect snow band does, and if we got to concentrate on the higher volume areas, and that's what we'll do. But we'd really like to peel that snow off and get it off there before this Arctic storm comes in.
Yeah, that's good to know. How many crews are out at the moment?
Well, we're fully staffed. Every employee is out running right now. We have additional seasonal help, and we actually have some contract drivers as well.
Okay, and as we've already mentioned, lake effect snow will continue to fall this weekend. Are crews prepared to keep going for the next 48 hours or so?
We are staffed and we are ready to go 24/7. We have a night shift and a day shift, and our day shift is coming in early, our night shift is staying late, so there's some overlap there.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds like a plan. Thank you again, Ken, for joining us this morning. We really appreciate it for that update.
Yep. Thank you.
All right, well, experiencing a true Michigan winter for the very first time, 13 on Your Side, Julie Koharig is live in Kent County this morning. Julie, how much snow are you seeing right now, and what do the roads look like?
Well, I'm seeing more than I've ever seen, Veronica. And it's still coming down, as you can see. It's coming at me sideways very aggressively right now, these big flakes. But even with it still coming down, the roads are staying pretty clear, at least the main runs. We're on Alpine Avenue right now in Grand Rapids, and you can see that main road. And a lot of the highways, too, are pretty clear. It's those side roads you're going to want to watch out for. You can see even the sidewalks are getting cleared up, too. So it really is a day where it's going to be passable for the most part, depending on what area you're in. You can go out on the roads. It's just really dependent on if you want to take that risk. You're going to have to go a lot slower. I mean, we went half the speed we would normally go getting here, and we're very close to the station. In terms of the snow itself, it's a very heavy, dense snow. It's really packed in there, and it's wet. So the problem is that even though now it's fine, now it's getting cleared, if you have snow on your driveways, on your sidewalks, you're going to want to get it clear, because if this freezes again, and Blake said it's going to get colder, it's going to freeze and have ice. So you're going to want to be very careful with both the snow that's on the ground and driving. Again, give crews ample space that they need to do what they need to do, drive extra slow, and if you can, just stay inside today. For now, we're going to send it back to you guys in the studio, live in Grand Rapids. Julie Koharic, 13 on your side.
And we can see those plows working hard behind you. Thank you, Julie. Well, this winter storm has caused power outages across West Michigan. With more snow on the way and Arctic air, there is the potential for even more power outages. 13 on your sides, Trevier Gonzalez is live in Muskegon with more. Trevier, what's happening where you are?
Hey, good morning, Veronica. It sounds like Julie's getting attacked. It's a little bit nicer, not very aggressive. Just a half hour ago, it was kind of a little bit more in my face. Now it's a little bit more pleasant, but granted, we're in downtown Muskegon, so it's a little bit different. I want to go ahead and look at some. When we were just talking about roads here, this is one of the main roads to kind of get through downtown here. You can see we've got a good inch of this. We haven't seen a snow truck come through here, but even underneath this snow, we have this tough slush, and that is why you heard that advisements of really not a good time to be on the road. Now, when we talk about power outages, this is something that's constantly fluctuating, and just checking Consumers Energy in the past 5 minutes, everybody is in the yellow right now. Now, it turns out that in just the last half hour, both Ottawa and Allegan County were in the orange, but let's take a look. Muskegon County right here is at 898 power outages. That is up. We also see Kent County has also increased to 6,560. That's about 2% of the customer base there. Meanwhile, we see Ottawa also decreasing. They're about 3,358. And Allegan County is actually decreased significantly. About half of their power outages have been restored. They're about at, let's see, it looks like at 3.2%, and that means there's about 1,700 power outages there. Previously, in the last half hour, they were around 3,000. So it sounds like we have a bunch of factors, both with the weather and both folks who are working actively to restore it. But this is something we're to continue to monitor, and we'll see how things move, especially as we see that lake effect snow coming in just a bit. Live in Muskegon, Trevier Gonzalez, 13 on your side.
All right, thank you, Trevier. And air travel is also being impacted by the weather this morning. Multiple flights at the Ford Airport were canceled or delayed. Here's a look at the Ford Airport flight tracker. As you can see, there's a couple of delayed flights and some are still on time, but the vast majority of the departing trips are now canceled. That includes almost all flights that were scheduled between 5 a.m. and 9 a.m. And if you want to stay updated on how the weather will impact you or know more of what happens in your community, download the 13 on Your Side app for breaking news and updates on stories impacting you. That's available on the App Store and Google Play.